Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of the Monsters Den. Today in the co-captain's chair for this creature feature special is none other than Chris Allo. Welcome to the show again, my friend.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for having me.
So it's all about this guy right here. Creature from the Black Lagoon, the last gasp for Universal horror in the 50s, try and get back into the game after being away from the game for a little while. And made a lot of money, this little franchise here. I'm surprised that with the third movie, they just decided to walk away from it, because I think they could have kept going, but they really didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think and I'm sure we'll get to it, if they didn't do what they did in the third movie, I think they could have strung it along for another couple movies, and maybe they should have done a Creature versus Frankenstein or something. I mean, they could have done something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing that it's just those three movies, and then the Munsters. And I just recently saw the Creature from the Black Lagoon meet Abbott and Costello. I don't know if you saw that.
Now, wasn't that like on the TV show, or it was like a short?
Yeah, it's a short. It's like 15 minutes. It's really terrible, but they mention Creature from the Black Lagoon in the beginning, and then at the last minute, he actually does walk out and chase Abbott and Costello. But I mean, it's just amazing that there have been so many, which I'm sure we'll get to, so many versions of Dracula and Frankenstein and the Wolfman, but for Creature, which is such a popular creature, and maybe that's a good thing, and it's just these three movies, 2 TV appearances, and that's it. I mean, there hasn't even been a Creature from the Black Lagoon animated series or nothing. I mean,
remake? No, nothing. Yeah, other than in the what was the name of that 80s monster film, which had Dracula, Monster Squad. So they had a creature-ish character, right?
True. And there was at one of the Universal Studio theme parks, there was a Creature from the Black Lagoon, the musical, and it only lasted, I think, a month or two. But yeah, there's really not much, and maybe that's why there's so much love for this character, because it really is such an unbelievable creation, and with such an really, other than that last movie, pretty much an untainted legacy.
Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, I think that Universal was on a really good comeback around this time and doing more of this kind of like science fiction monster thing. They had This Island Earth as well, which had that really great creature as well, right?
Yes, and I had heard, and I can't remember which movie came first, but they when they had both costumes, maybe they weren't fully created costumes yet, but and I can't remember if they went to the producers of Creature or This Island Earth, but they had both creatures, and they were like, all right, which one do you want for your movie? And it could, I mean, I don't know how, maybe the hands would have been different, right? Because the mutant wouldn't really swim too good with that thing.
No. And that big head, he would have sunk right to the bottom, right?
Totally. But maybe they were just sketches. But I read that somewhere, that they were like, which one do you want? And they chose.
Yep, they did.
But that's a great design too.
So 1954 is the first film, and again, trying to think when the last was. So Universal did those bunch of Abbott and Costello meet, Frankenstein and the Invisible Man,
right,
and the Mummy and all that kind of stuff. So that we all thought was the kind of the last gasp for Universal. And then they came out with the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the first film. All right. And a really good movie.
Great.
Top notch, right?
Really holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, the design just looks great. It's a, simple premise. Archaeologists find the mummified hand, and they go down there looking for the creature. And chaos ensues. But to me, watching it again, just recently, it's nothing scary anymore, but it's somewhat, you could see why this one would be scary, certainly more so than the others, because the boat gets trapped in the lagoon, and it's almost like a slasher movie. Like the creature sort of picks them off one by one.
He outsmarts them, right?
Yeah. You know, he jumps on a boat, you know, beats one of them up, jumps back in the water. It really holds up well. I mean, the underwater scenes are amazing.
Really
Rico,
good. Really
yeah, Rico Browning, who was in the suit, just looked in the underwater suit. You know, looked great. Julia Adams, you know, gorgeous,
gorgeous.
gorgeous. I mean, you don't often go back to 1950 standards, but man, she was just a beautiful, beautiful lady. I mean, it worked. It's a tight script. I think it really holds up.
Yeah, and how about that like creature suit?
Unbelievable.
So good, right?
Unbelievable. I mean, I would, I don't think I'm out of line saying one of the greatest, creature designs ever. I mean, if I had to do a top 3 or 4, I'd say Creature, Alien, and Predator. Just off the top of my head.
Yep.
And there's such an age difference between Creature and Alien and Predator in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But man, such an unbelievable design.
And they did such a great job, so you had 2 guys inside the suit. So you mentioned Rico underwater.
Yeah.
And then you had Ben Chapman, who did all the above water stuff. And
he was in real life was huge.
Yeah.
He really was big hands, big head.
Yep. So, a great film. And as we were talking, I just thought of this. You have to wonder, the Jaws movie maybe influenced a little bit by this.
100%, Pete. I thought the same thing when I was watching Creature the other day. I was like, yeah, it's a bunch of people kind of trapped on the boat, getting picked off. How are we going to get out of this?
Yep.
When they have the giant log like trapped in their way and they can't get out. I'm like, yeah, no doubt. I definitely agree.
Yeah. In both instances, you got this kind of like sea creature who's kind of outsmarting the humans, right? One step ahead of them every time. Yeah. So, a really great film. And they followed it up pretty shortly thereafter. The next year, right?
The crazy thing is, it had me thinking of like, all the classic bands we talk about, Kiss and Sabbath and Priest and Maiden, how they all banged out these records once a year. Universal did it 1, 2, 3. For the Creature movies. I think they're 54, 55, and 56.
That's right. And the second movie holds up really well.
Really well. I mean, if for anybody that hasn't seen it, another team goes down. They brought back just the one guy. Is it Lewis? Was his name?
The Hispanic guy. Yep.
Hispanic guy. They go look for the creature. This time they capture him, no problem. They bring him to Florida and put him on display in Marineland. And he make him an attraction because that's what you would do rather than, have scientists study this, let's sell tickets and try and make some money off the creature.
Yeah, even though we know how dangerous he is, we hope,
totally.
That's a chain to his leg at the bottom of the pool and everything will be fine.
And it's so funny you say that because, they just throw him in the tub. There's not even a roof over it. He just, put one chain on, let him swim around. Of course, he gets out. I love the part when he knocks the car over. And it's just causing chaos. And what I could really appreciate watching back to back is that, the second one really was so different from the first one.
Yeah. Because
the first one they're out in the water and they're stuck on the boat. And this one, the creature is running around in Florida. But I also felt like, well, this one's not, you could see why it wouldn't be as scary as the first one. But still really, really well done, I think. Has a quick cameo from Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
In the lab. Different design slightly. They changed the head. I don't know if the body's the same, but they changed I didn't like that they changed the eyes. Apparently they made the eyes so it'd be easier for the actors to look out. Yeah. But it didn't look as realistic. It looked like a piece of plastic.
I also thought that the color, I know it's black and white, but I thought he looked much darker in the second and third movies.
Yeah.
Like you got the impression watching the first movie, even though it was in black and white, that he was green. And
right.
I don't really get that as much in the second movie. And he's got his mouth open quite a bit in the second movie. So they really play up this whole idea that he can only last outside the water for a couple of minutes, and you can really see that in the second film where he's rampaging around. All of a sudden he's like and then he's got to find the water like immediately, you know.
Definitely, it definitely seemed like they put like extra bladders in the suit and the mask so that the things could open up more.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as sequels go, really well done. It really holds up. Now, I don't think it's as good as the first one.
No.
But still really good, really entertaining. I definitely still really like it.
Yeah, and they made him a sympathetic character.
Yes.
In the film, because, you know, again, they're taking him out of his element, putting him in an aquarium, right? Like we do everything else, so people can watch and gawk at and all that kind of stuff to make money. And in the end, it bit us in the ass, right?
Totally. Yeah. So, but yeah, still a fun one.
Still a fun one. Another very attractive female lead in the film, right?
Yes.
Each one.
Not to knock out that Julia Adams is, but she was definitely good. I know they brought Rico Browning back to do some of the suit work underwater. I don't think it was Ben Chapman at all. I could be wrong.
I think he was in the second, but not the third, if I remember
correctly. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Because
the third one, which we're going to get to in a second, the guy who plays him on land, the third one, I'm like, wait a second, is that like a football player or something? Because he's like enormous, right?
So bad. So we're ready to talk about the third one.
Sure. Yeah.
So third one comes back in 1956, and Jack Arnold, who directed the first two, did not come back for the third one, and maybe that's partially why such a down step in quality. And I always mix up. I used to mix up the end of the second one and the beginning of the third one, because I always thought that he caught fire at the end of the second one, but it's beginning of the third one where they see the creature again, which, you know, that part continuity wise makes no sense because he dies in one, he dies in two. Let's bring him back in three.
At least we think he dies. It's almost like the exact same shot in the end of the first movie where he's just kind of floating, you know, sinking down. And you're like, okay, he's dead. And nope, he ain't dead. He's back from blood.
And years ago, I had read somewhere that there was, I don't want to say a law, but there was like a thing in the 50s where whatever they did, you know, horror movies or sci-fi movies, like you had to show the creature die at the end. Like you had to. So maybe that's why they did it. But right, the creature gets hit with, I think, Molotov cocktails. So he gets all burnt. And he looks great. He looks like the creature in the beginning of the movie. And then they do some kind of operation on him. And now they do something with his lungs and his face. But now he doesn't look like a tall, thin, you know, swimmer, which he was, because he was played by a swimmer in the first two movies. Now he's like the fucking Incredible Hulk. He's like a linebacker. He's like he's big.
Shoulders.
He can't even put his shoulders down. The face looks different. And oh, guess what? Let's put him in pajamas now. I'm like, what? I had always wanted to see it. First time I ever saw it was in the early 90s at Steve Keeler's house, because he had it, and I'd always wanted to see it. So we ate chicken wings and we watched the creature in his house. He had one of those giant 5,000-pound, like 40-inch televisions. And I mean, it was a great time, but man, I thought the movie sucked then. I don't think I might have never seen it until just another week or two ago when I watched it. And I'm like, oh, this movie sucks. I mean, it doesn't look like the creature. You know, he was, what I love too about the creature, he was in 1 and 2, like he's a ferocious animal, just constantly going nuts and clawing at people and knocking shit down. And he does nothing in the third movie.
Yeah.
He's a big guy in pajamas, and all he keeps doing is like staring, looking at the ocean like a hungry fat guy looks at a cheeseburger. I mean, it's like, come on. They gave him nothing to do. It's just horrible. It's a horrible movie. They took one of the greatest, most beautiful creature designs ever and completely fucked it up.
Yeah. Which
blows my mind, because I was like, wait, this would be like if Universal was like, okay, let's make a Frankenstein movie where they take Frankenstein and let's make his head round and take out the bolts, and instead of the tattered, let's put him in a tuxedo. And what? Then that's not Frankenstein.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't understand the third one, like what they were thinking at all.
Talk about the franchise. It starts off good, and then it just as soon as they capture him, it goes off the rails.
And there's this like some kind of love plot triangle thing, and somebody's husband gets killed or boyfriend. It's like,
Yeah, well, the husband's a jealous maniac. He's got this young wife, and she hates him, and he thinks she's awful. And then, you know, they got one of the crew members is all after the wife, and it's and who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah. Who cares? I mean, you got to have people in it, but yeah, you know, you had just enough of the people in the first two, so maybe they should have done that. I mean, I almost think if they wanted to do a trilogy, which I'm sure there was no plan in the 50s. But maybe they should have literally redone the first movie in the second one. Just that it's another crew that goes down and the same thing happens and they don't capture him. And then maybe they should have captured him and done the Marine Land thing in the third one. Because, yeah, it's just to make him so big, it makes no sense. Like, if you had to operate on him, why is he, like, built like the Incredible Hulk now?
Yeah. They said a couple things in the film. They're like, oh, because remember they discovered all of a sudden, oh, it looks like he's got like the beginning stages of lungs, right? So now he's not using the gills anymore. Like, oh, we left the bandages on for a week. Now he's got human tissue growing underneath. All of a sudden, his hands don't look like this anymore. They actually look like fingers with a little bit of webbing. And I'm like, but now all of a sudden he puts on like 100 pounds and he grew shoulders and he's standing upright. And like,
they should have showed him lifting weights or something. I mean, it's just so bad. And again, let's put him in pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm just so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. But those first two movies, they're definitely magic.
First two movies are good. Yeah, absolutely. So I would recommend for those of you who are looking to watch any of these films, Universal's got this gigantic Blu-ray box set, which has all 30 some odd of their horror films. And they have a whole set included within that, all dedicated to the creature. And it's got all 3 films on high definition Blu-ray. I will say, my wife and I just got a 4K 70-inch screen TV earlier this year, right? And all 3 of these films look absolutely spectacular on that kind of TV. I tell you, these 4K television sets now,
for sure,
they show the old black and white classics look amazing in on high definition on these TVs. So I think great. You know, the music on these soundtrack is great on all 3 of these films. I think they used the same.
Oh, the horns! Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. I mean, they must play that cue like 100 times
all the time. Movie. Yeah, but it works so well for this film.
Oh, for sure.
So so it's the complete legacy collection, and
I wish I had that.
Never looked better. But I still saved my old DVD because at one Chiller Theater event, I don't even remember what year, Julia Adams and Ben Chapman were both there at the table, and they were signing stuff. So I got Ben to sign the front, but more importantly, we got on the inlay card, we got a signature from Julia to me, help, right? And Ben signed it again, and I think he even signed it back as well. He was just looking at he just, because I guess he was from Hawaii or something like that. So aloha. That's right. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I remember. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember meeting. I didn't bring my Ben Chapman. I don't know what. Unlike Pete is super organized. I'm a mess, so I don't know what half my stuff is. But I remember meeting him, and he stood up, and he was massive, huge guy. But that's right, the Hawaii thing. I do remember that. I have a couple things. The one autograph thing. This is my Creature from the Black Lagoon story. Was Rico Browning directed an awful but fun 70s exploitation movie called Mr. No Legs. I don't know if there's the poster there, and I had him sign. I don't know if it's there. I had him sign the poster on the bottom, and this was only like maybe 3-4 years ago. I remember when I went up to him, and all these guys, as you know, Pete, they always have a handler. So the handler is the one that handles the money, and that way you can talk to the celebrity. So I go up with my Mr. No Legs poster, and Rico Browning's there, and he's got like 3 tables. He's got his own room filled with Creature from the Black Lagoon stuff. I mean, he's got the life-size creature. He's got 3 tables worth of posters and toys and pictures of the creature. And I go up to him and I just start asking him about Mr. No Legs. And, when's it going to come out on Blu-ray and, the movie, and I really enjoy it and blah, blah, blah.
I'm probably thinking, I can't believe that this guy is going to talk to me about that movie when nobody even has ever heard of that movie, right?
True story. So I give the handler my $20. He signs a poster. I turn and walk away. And as I walk away, he turns to the handler and goes, "At every convention, there's always one." I thought that was funny.
And you were that guy that year, right?
Funny stuff.
Oh,
I grabbed a couple toys. This one's from a couple years ago. I really like this one because it's from I forget who did it, but this Diamond Toys Select. This one's good.
They do great stuff. Yeah.
The old one that I know that had Julia Adams in it, and she's got the pose, the famous pose from the poster. I really like that one. I wish I would have got two of these so I could have opened one.
Yeah, the Diamond Select toys are great. I have a bunch of the superhero ones. Yeah, they're fantastic.
So good. Then they redid the figure in a different sculpt and color, without Julia, but with a big cool rock piece.
Yeah.
What else do I have around here? I got the Hot Wheel toy from a couple of years ago. I just got this. This is new. This is a repro of the old 70s. What were they called? I'm getting old. I can't remember. The 70s horror costumes, but this is no costume, just a mask in a box.
Yes, yep.
This is a reissue of the Monsters in the Movies kit from this. It was originally from Aurora, but this is Mobius. I have the original Aurora one somewhere. What else do I have? I know your viewers like when I say I have 3 copies of a CD. I have 3 copies of this, but I couldn't find the third one. These are the Marx figures, 6-inch Marx figures.
That's well done. Wow.
Yeah, in the 60s. They still actually make these all the time. So every couple of years they come out. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but this is the blue one. They were done in different colors. It does have the I don't know if you can see, it does have the chains on it. So technically, I guess this is from Revenge of the Creature. There's a set of 6 figures. Creature's one of them, but I have 3 sets. I have the blue one, I have the glow in the dark one, and I have the painted ones.
Oh, that's beautiful! Wow.
So that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a few creature toys I had lying around. I got more, but I'm not organized like Pete, so I have junk everywhere.
So that's mine.
Is that the Sideshow 12-inch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I have a bunch of these. I got this. Wait, so this is the 12, because the bigger one is 16, or the larger ones? I'm trying to remember.
I don't even remember. I mean, I know that
there's a ton. Sideshow did two different sizes, so I have. I don't have the large one. I've got Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula, the large. But in this size, whatever the hell this is, or maybe this is 8-inch. I don't know, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
I've got him, the Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, the Wolfman. So, and there's so many other ones. I mean, it's just the.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could go broke just collecting creature stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that cool, right?
Yeah, but he's such a great design. Like I said, right up there with Alien, the Predator, Pumpkinhead. Just an amazing monster creature design. And I don't know what to think about a remake. I would like to see it if you did it. If you got to do it, a guy in a suit. Don't do it CGI because it's going to look fake.
Yeah.
I mean, you pulled it off, 70 years ago almost. So.
You just have to wonder, though. It's like, if it hasn't happened by now, maybe it's just not meant to be, and maybe we should just cherish those first couple of films and just leave it at that, right?
Right. I mean, I got a script I bought a script at a convention. Was going to be John Carpenter's Creature from the Black Lagoon. Ooh. I don't really remember much, other than I remember reading the script and thinking, wow, that read pretty good. And Carpenter's a great director, so and this was in the late 80s, so. Maybe that would have been your shot,
Yeah, I don't know who else could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Benicio del Toro. Is it? What's his name? Who did the Shape of Water?
Oh yeah.
What's his name? I can't think of it.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah. And he, he's a maybe.
Well, that was supposedly his homage to
Right.
the
That
film.
was like a creature movie, but it got. I was into it until the song and dance, and then I'm like, all right, this is kind of weird.
I think that's what most people said. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a real charm to the first film, and the second film is a lot of fun. The third is kind of junky, but I just don't know if that would ever be recaptured. And I'm at this point with like remakes. I'm like, you know what? The original is a classic on its own. I don't think we need to see it again or see it redone again. Because I can watch that first one over and over and over and over again.
Oh, for sure. And it's so short and plays so tight, but. Pete, you and I know Universal's been trying to restart their monster franchise for years. If they ever get it going, they're definitely doing Creature, 100%.
Well,
if they can, if they can get it going.
Why is it so hard?
I
don't understand. You watch like some of these remakes and you're like, God, that like sucks. Like, it doesn't take much of a brain to figure out that the way you're doing it is not the way to do it. And they wonder why these films don't succeed. It's like, well, any fan of these old films will tell you why they're not succeeding, right? It's like,
totally.
I don't know.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Give us a good monster. Yeah. But.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, the moral of the story is today, go out and check out the first three. Well, you should watch all three. The third one's kind of lame, but the first two are off the charts really good, I think. So that's our Creature from the Black Lagoon show, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Chris will be back in just a couple days because we're going to be doing some Italian horror. Specifically, we're each picking a gem from the careers of Mario Bava, Dario Argento, and Lucio Fulci. So it's all Italian horror for the next go around. So stay tuned for that one. Chris and I just have to figure out what day we're doing it. I'm ready to go whenever you are, my friend. So
okay, cool. Sounds good.
I've watched my three and I'm ready to talk about them. Man, I tell you, that was a night full of gore like I haven't experienced in a while.
Yeah, those Italians are known for it. They love that. They love that red sauce.
No, that they do. So stay tuned for that, everybody, and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. For Chris Allo, I am Pete Pardo. Stay tuned for another edition of the Monsters Den, if you dare. For the Creature, Chris and Pete, see you real soon. Bye-bye.